Can you imagine? Let's go play. Let's go play at a UNM and then just have it all Las Cruces
Let's
dominated.
go.
Let's do
Speak it
that.
into
Let's do
existence.
that this year. All right, let's go. Team on me, team on three. All right.
Lock in,
Welcome
lock in.
back. Welcome back. Let's go, Dirty South. Welcome back to Mountain Echo. It's your boy Frankie, and that is Jonah Gallegos. Make sure you're following him at NM Prepco Sports, doing some great things, covering, getting some more interviews with coaches, players, some more insight. So awesome. Go ahead and follow him on Substack.
There you go.
Substack.
I knew
All
you had
right,
it in you.
let's get into it, Jonah. We got a lot going on. We got some heartbreak. We got still some hope left in the city. Not what we expected from this weekend. Uh, we have New Mexico State University on the men's side. They end up pulling it off. And all we had to do was pull it off. We just have to get into the tournament, and anything can happen, as you said. So let's get started with NMSU basketball. If you're just here tuning in to look at or to tune into the high school sports, stick around. This is the time for us to really get some momentum here. There's a possibility where we can get into some March Madness. So if you're short on time and you do that, go ahead. But it's going to be a short episode. I think we'll see. We might get into some drama or some disagreements. Jonah and I have not been able to see each other for a little bit. So uh, or at least sit down and talk about the games. We were at the games, but then we kind of leave. There's some emotions. So um, stick around, stay a while. We
Relax.
have the New Mexico State men's basketball team who were able to pull off a win against Jack State that went into OT. Big comeback there. And then a few days later, they were able to beat Kennesaw State, which was another scary situation there. Um, but that game wasn't as scary as maybe a lot of people in the stands versus me, who I wasn't at the game. I knew UTEP lost, so they were already in. But uh, it was important for us to pull off that win, and we did, because over and over and over again we just couldn't figure it out. So, um, Jonah, any of your thoughts against the Jack State, that comeback, and then Kennesaw State, and then we can get into just what the bracket looks like.
No, yeah, the Jack's State game had us, a bit scared. We were like, is this the old Aggies that we saw in the beginning or in the mid-season point? Um, but yeah, they came back. I remember I turned it off for a bit because I was kind of fed up, and then you text
Yeah.
me, "Hey, they're a couple points away," so I turned it back on right away. Saw most of the last couple of minutes of the second half, and then OT, of course. And it was just nice to see them pull off a win like that. And then obviously the next, game against Kennesaw State did the same thing. It was another tough game. Adam Young provided some clips of like their clutch baskets that kind of kept them in the game at times. Um,
Yeah.
so it's a good sign heading forward. Like I said, give us one or two, and after that, momentum can carry you pretty far in March.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing that I'll note that maybe you didn't notice because you'd almost given up on us, Jonah. How dare you? I've given up on us multiple times throughout the season. Jacoby Osborne fouled out with about 3 minutes left in the game,
That's right.
and that was big because Coach Hooten really uses him for defense. Though he'll even use a timeout just to put him in after an offensive position. Calls a timeout. He puts in Jacoby, and so he's now gotten into that flow. He's been trying to do it for the longest time of who's being used for what, and it was huge to be able to see that Jacoby was able to get in there, play some defense. Late in the game, he got fouled out. Mims fouled out as well, and so it started to get really scary there, where I really thought that once Jacoby came out of that game, that we weren't going to be able to find a way to stop Jack State. But one thing that was really interesting on the other side of the bench was this number 23. I'm not even going to attempt to say his name.
Yeah,
He's the
don't
reason
try.
why UTEP almost got into a fight on Saturday.
Yeah, he
There
made
was
the
like,
buzzer
that
beater, huh?
scuffle. Yeah, he hit the buzzer beater. Um, he didn't play in overtime. Number 23. I don't know if he had got
Dang.
hurt or what, but it was like a blessing when I saw him get off the court. I'm like, what are they doing? So
Huh.
that was huge because look at he had 23 points in that game. He was well, I guess Hill ended up outscoring him again because he didn't play in
Yeah.
overtime. He started but he didn't finish. So that was kind of weird there. So congratulations on that win. Coach had said we need to go 6-0, right? And so he's 2-0 now, and now the tournament is where you got to win 4 games to get into March Madness and play with the big boys. There's been some upsets, but this here's the bracket that we're gonna have. Uh, I made a mistake, and I don't even know how a bracket works like this, but I would have imagined that the 10 seed is always on top and ends up playing the 1 seed. That was my mistake that I posted on our story. But this makes it way more favorable for us because we almost beat Sam Houston. This is
No, we
coach's
did beat
old team. At home?
the
Did we
first
beat
game.
him at home?
Yeah, we only played them once this year. I believe it was at home. It's the first game of conference. Yeah, I think they beat them by pretty good.
I thought we almost beat them. Yeah,
No, I
you're
think,
right. Oh man, we did beat Sam Houston.
and we controlled
So,
most of that game, and then we let them come back in the
yeah,
end.
that's
Almost come back.
okay. For some reason, I thought we had lost that game. So even better, right? So that's who we have in our bracket next is Sam Houston, and then we go on and play Kennesaw State or this uh, WKU, right? So we don't know what's going to happen there, but this is super favorable for us where we won't have to play the top seed Liberty, who's only lost 3 games in the conference, and I mean we could be dancing here for late into March. So
You gotta believe, Aggie fans. You gotta believe.
we've won 17 straight before. You know,
We
was
have.
it 17,
It was up there. It was in the teens for
14?
sure.
It was in the teens. So you know what? If you can start with a win streak and finish with a win streak, everyone forgets about all those close losses of not being able to win at home for the longest time. You know, winning cures a lot of things here. Where we were
Mm-hmm.
we were worried about if Coach Hooten had a job, if he was gonna. Man, he's losing what 8 seniors. None of them we saw last year. So it was kind of funny to be like celebrating senior day when we didn't really have these guys more than a year. But
Yeah.
he's got a squad. He built a squad that got into the playoffs, and we're in a situation where we can go dancing, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're 2-0 versus Jack State, 1-0 versus Sam Houston. Oh, my dog. And then Western Kentucky, I think we might have lost both games against them. But, I mean, you know, they don't. Yeah, I see right there. No, 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 we beat
We
them
beat
1 and
Western.
1.
Yep,
And then they beat us recently. So there we go. You're right. We do have a favorable route to go dancing.
we can do it. This is a team to do it. I think. I mean, as long as you have Jamel Jones, I think we got a chance. That dude just he makes he can make a shot out of anything, and I think we need to stop thinking like that as far as a team because I heard it in the broadcast. They're talking a lot about how the team's just sitting around waiting for Jamel to just do something awesome, right? Like, and he's just trying to create something, and there's just a lot of standing around. So if we can continue to move, get everyone involved. Mims is always open for that alley oop, right? And you have Jacoby playing really good in defense. I like Chris Terrell at point. He's got a lot of energy. Uh, Coach really trusts a lot in him, a lot more
Mm-hmm.
than he did at the beginning of the season. I think we're gelling at the right time where I think we can get into a role. So excited to see
Let's
where
get
we
past
can
that first
go.
round. Let's go. Let's just get past
Yeah.
the first round.
Yes, sir. And then on the flip side of that, the women unfortunately did not make it into the tournament and quickly made the announcement that Jody Adams has been released of her head coach duties. So uh, she was a legend. I know she was a legend at a few other schools, but um, yeah,
Just
it's
didn't work
it's
out.
tough. It's tough. It didn't work out. It is what it is. So thank you, Jody, for your time and for your passion to the sport, to women's basketball, and hopefully better days. Any insight into who the next coach might be?
No, I just keep hearing that they're trying to do a really quick coaching search, which has to happen. I don't know if that guy or woman keeps some of the team or just completely wants to do a new recruiting. So that's always interesting with the college world. Um, but yeah, let's see. They somehow get a lot of these big hires. There was a lot of hope whenever Jody came in, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. So we'll see.
We shall see. Uh, and then we have some baseball for NMSU. They've been doing really good recently. I know they beat on yesterday. They beat
UTSA, right?
UTSA.
Yeah, I think
Birds
UTSA was
down.
24. They're
Yeah,
24 in the country. That's a good
yeah,
dub.
that's a really good dub. We beat UNM for the first time. It was like one of the longest uh, losing streaks of like a rivalry. I had seen something posted there where it had been a long time since we beat UTEP and we were able to, or UNM. So
Really, I didn't know
we
that. Hmm.
we got a win there. Yeah,
And they were undefeated too, 12-0. UNM was
yeah, yep.
got that dub.
So we beat UNM. Where is this? Let me pull up the score here. The UTSA was 25, Jonah.
Oh, I apologize.
And I mean, they still brought it to us, right? I mean, it was
Yeah,
it
they
was
won the series, right?
210, yeah, 210, 0 to 13, only 7 innings. So they had our number, but hey, we got a dub. We got one of them. It's worse to get swept, right? So
Hmm.
we beat UNM. They came on down over here, one game road trip, and we beat them 8-6. We swept Prairieville A&M. And again, remember I had mentioned a while back we better win against USW. We were able to pull it off, 19-7 there. We're gonna play them again, I believe. Yeah, on Tuesday. So we're recording this on a Monday, a little bit later. Apologize for that, but uh, we'll play them again, and then we're gonna head over to Dallas, and
Ooh,
then
TCU.
TCU. So we'll stay in the DFW area, and we'll play TCU, which is number 17. So shout out to whoever's making these matchups because you want to play these difficult teams to be able to, be competitive when conference starts, right? So the conference won't get started. I guess we're going to be sprinkling in conference and then random games there, but I mean, we play Arizona State down the road, so that one's going to be in Temple. So it'll be a good season. We're doing well, and let's see how that goes. Some former Aggies that we have playing tonight, Jonah, for Team Mexico. Let's go! Wearing the
Mexico.
jersey, baby. Whose jersey
Let's
is that, or
go.
is that just a Mexico jersey? Is there a number?
My girlfriend's family got it for me from somewhere in Mexico. So it doesn't have anyone on the back, but it's just Mexico. Got a rep.
Hell yeah! I didn't know that the United States hasn't beat Mexico since like 2006.
Really?
Think of the team that we have. Like we had Mike Trout for the longest time. We had all these
Yeah.
really good Clayton Kershaw pitching, and never. I just never really thought that we hadn't beat Mexico. But yeah, Mexico's defending their win streak against the United States tonight. So hopefully that goes well. We'll see. We'll see what
Mexico
happens.
just mercy ruled someone last night too.
I think it
I
was
saw
Great
the
Britain, if I'm not mistaken. It was someone, but
someone
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
or Brazil. It was Brazil.
Brazil. That's right. That's right. That's right. I was
Trey
like, someone
Trey
would
was at
be.
that game. That's how I know that. Trey from All Sports Best was at the game, and he texted me because I was hoping that he would be at the Carlsbad game and we could actually hang out
Yeah.
and see him. I was gonna invite him to a round of golf or something, but
I would have watched.
World Baseball Classic is a lot better.
Yeah. That's a good trip. That's a good trip to go. To go to.
and And I mean, I guess we can get into it. Softball's doing great too. Shout out to them. I don't have anything pulled up, but I know they're doing really good. There's a couple girls that had, or one girl in particular, I don't remember just off the top of my head from social media. A girl hit her first home run of her college career. So cool to see that. So we'll get into it more. Basketball's been dominating our life a little bit recently, but that all comes to an end. Hopefully for the Aggies, not for a couple more weeks, but high school basketball. Uh, High school basketball has been where all our attention has been at. We started with, depending what you consider, 8 teams in our city, 9 if you consider Alamogordo, and two are left standing. So we were hoping Trey would be in town for that game. Now he gets to see Carlsbad anyways. Carlsbad defeated Centennial, our district champions, in a district that we thought was going to be able to really show a presence in this year's tournament. The Cruces High Bulldogs were able to beat Albuquerque High. You had Mayfield, who lost to
Rio Rancho.
Rio Rancho, and then Alamogordo lost, and then Oregon Mountain
Oregon.
lost to Hobbs. Hobbs just keeps freaking trolling Las Cruces, the city of Las Cruces. Last year, it was the Cruces High boys with the infamous exit of Coach William Benjamin uh, being ejected at the end of that game. I heard conversations about officiating just not being the best out in Hobbs, and even some of the Carlsbad fans when we were at the game for the Centennial game, they were actually so happy. They were Some of the calls that were being called was a little fishy as well, but they were saying that they were so happy to be outside of their area where apparently Hobbs just gets a lot of calls that are questionable. Everyone's going to say that, right? So, but every time that we do go up there, there is some weird stuff that happens. So who knows? Who knows what Hobbs is doing over there? But let's take a look at the bracket and let's break down some of these teams that lost, and then look forward into what our trip over to Albuquerque. We're still going to Albuquerque, Jonah. We're gonna do it.
Heck yeah, we are.
We're leaving tomorrow, folks. It's gonna be exciting. Um, this is the girls. Let's do the boys first here. The Bulldogs, the only team in the Las Cruces Public School District, at least, that was able to pull off a win, 61-45. 81-62. I don't know if that was the referee's fault there. I don't know, Jonah. Uh,
Not quite. Not
but
quite.
have you written? Are you preparing to write something? I know you're still working. I haven't seen anything yet. Did you have any insights on that Oregon Mountain Hobbs game?
No, I just know that. Well, Max Popescu had 31 points, dude. 31. And if he got a little help from his counter partners in Emmett McDaniel and Nate Pete, they would have had a better chance. But they have a lot of film. Obviously, this late in the season, Hobbs is probably uh, guarding tight. Emmett and Nate, knowing that they're the scorers and decided let someone else beat them if they can. But I think Emmett had 5 points and Nate had uh, 8 points, and those were your two other leading scorers for Oregon Mountain. But Max did all he could, man. He really tried. 31 is a lot. I mean, he's only a
Yeah,
junior, and he'll be back next year. But yeah, they just couldn't get enough
he
help
had
from
half their
everyone else.
points.
Right, right.
Man, I didn't know. So how many did Emmett have? You said
5,
5 points.
and then
I
their Hobbs, their big guy. I think his name is Malachi David. He's 6'8", dude. Only a junior. He had 20. I think another guy had 20 for them, and then the third guy had 17 for them. So they had some pretty even double digit scoring. So it's hard to win games when you don't have can't match that.
Yeah, yeah. Hobbs always has a really good team. I'm I had heard on that side of the ball, right, or that side of the state in that district, that uh, Carlsbad did challenge Hobbs in the district for the district title, and it shows. Carlsbad did really well,
Yeah,
and just to see what Hobbs was able to do to Oregon Mountain, who I mean, Oregon Mountain beat Centennial. They beat Cruces this season. You know,
yeah, they weren't a bad
Cruces
team at
was
all.
they were a really good team. They were able to shoot with Nathaniel's defense. You know, I really thought they'd be able to beat Hobbs. We had our student sections wherever you went. We're challenging these kids to really concentrate and not get too emotional, right? And sometimes it would happen, but we thought they'd be primed to be able to go out there and beat Hobbs, and so
Mhm.
um, yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's just how things went. Same thing with Mayfield. I mean, Mayfield played the number one or the number three team in at least in seeding, right? Because I know district now with you read district every or the seeding stuff is a little bit different. But anyways, number 14 Mayfield went and brought it to Rio Rancho. I think Rio Rancho
Oh yeah, Mayfield.
they better figure it out. But they put the district on notice that hey they're we're really good, right? And so shout
Mhm.
out to all the seniors from Oregon Mountain, seniors from Mayfield who wrapped up their season not the way that you want it to end. And you know same thing for Centennial. That game was that's the only game for the boys side that I was able to make, and that was so frustrating. They were down big, man, in the fourth quarter. Cooley too got into some foul trouble, and it didn't allow him to play the second and the third quarter because Cooley, I think he still ended with, I think it was
17.
17 points, and all of that was in two quarters essentially. I think he was out for about 7 minutes in the second and about the same amount in the third. So 14 minutes of game time that you have your district player of the year not on the court, that's got to hurt. And there were some questionable calls towards the end there where this game could have, Carlsbad would have been really upset. They would have been real mad because they had a really comfortable lead. And they didn't let up. They both teams played really well to the very end, but that one was a shocker for me. I really thought that Centennial was disrespected by the seating of seven. I think they could have been a lot lower, but you know, the South just don't get the love that they usually do. And I mean, when you see that everyone but Cruces gets eliminated in a season like this, where hey, we're really strong, we're really strong, we're really strong, and then we don't do anything, we don't get out of that first round. It gives the state, the North, a little bit more reason of well, this is why you don't get the higher seating, you know. So, um,
Well put. Well put.
what are your thoughts here on any of these games? You went to the Cruces game, Jonah. What did you see?
Yeah, I went to Cruces, and then I caught the second half of the Centennial one. But Cruces, it was nice because they didn't rely just on one guy. Kind of what we've seen kind of throughout district, where either Jaden Brisby or Ben Walton, kind of carry the team. This one was a lot more even. Um, Talon Miller had 14. I think Jaden and Ben had 11 each, and then Dominic Latrell had 12. I want to say off of four made threes, and he caught fire, bro. And if he catches fire, and Zayden Clark somehow gets out of his funk of shooting, and he catches fire too in this postseason, they could be getting comfortable wins in the next couple of days. Um, and just add to that, whenever they're all playing complementary basketball, it's hard to beat. At first, Albuquerque High came out, they were shooting threes, dude, and I think that's just kind of the thing nowadays. Like,
Yeah,
teams want to spread the scoreboard by making those perimeter shots. And at first, I was like, oh no, I think they made like 4 or 5 in the first half, and then Cruces did a really good job with their press defense and kind of limiting number 10 and 45 for Albuquerque High, who were the main guys, and just said, kind of really said, like, beat us in the paint, and their paint defense was excellent. Shout out to Zeke Acosta, Jaden, uh, Ben. I'm trying to think of other people. Prince did well handling his role whenever he got in the game. It was just complimentary basketball, so that was good to see. And kind of going on to Centennial, yeah, it was disappointing. We don't. It's good. I'm gonna keep it real with everyone here again. Um, and it's no disrespect to Centennial, but we got to get out of that. We just want district kind of mindset. District is good, and it's a huge accomplishment. It should be a goal of teams to do. Um, but we want to stay competitive with the whole state, right? And so we gotta kind of maybe bring that state championship mindset back. I'm sure they do, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, we can't lose games like that to Carlsbad after earning that 7 seed. They earned it. They got the high seed they want. It was a favorable matchup. They beat them by almost 20 the first time around. It could have been 20 or more. But Carlsbad just came out with some high energy, like they knew that they could win this game, that they were going to win this game, and that they weren't going to be bullied. I mean, they're in a district with Malachi David from Hobbs, so they were prepared to play Cooley, and they played him before, so they have that mindset that he's not going to bully us. We're going to make someone else beat him, and work to their favor. So I'll say that's all I got to say. I'm proud of Mayfield, especially um, going up there, playing a good 3 seed that could have been a 2 or 1, um, which they're in the district, I believe, with the 2 and 1 seed. They gave them all they could handle tonight, and I know that Chip Flicks, the guy who runs Chip Flicks, one of our videographer photographers, said that Christian Covarubio got hurt, I believe, and he's one of their shooters. So he
Hmm.
didn't play the second half. So it seems like that kind of hurt him. But they stayed in the game. They were down by uh, 3 with 25 seconds, and then with 15 seconds, and they just couldn't get that stop and that get at least tie the game. So lots to be proud of. I'm not saying Centennial Oregon Mountain shouldn't be proud of the season. It's a heck of a season still. I just want the most out of these young men, which they did all they could. So be proud of it. Uh, hold your head high. Hold your head high.
Yeah, it's difficult for the seniors, right? You want to finish the season. I was frustrated. I know the strategy, going back to the Centennial game of making sure that Cooley doesn't fall out of a game, right? But at the same time, it's do or die, and
Mm-hmm.
you can ask 100 different coaches on what it is that they would do uh, differently, or what they would do the same. But at the end of the day, no matter what your decision is as a coach, you have to own that. And Coach Vince did own that. Cooley did it to himself, and he got 2 fouls early in the second quarter, and Coach Vince Carrillo removed him from the game for until halftime almost, and that really hurt the momentum of a team. And shout out to Reese Labarine, who did a great job. He had a number of assists. He had tons of rebounds. He did a really good job in the second quarter. He led the team in the second quarter with 5 points. Anthony Edis, who usually he's been one of my favorite sleepers on Centennial, because he's a silent killer. He'll stand in that corner and he'll just rip those 3 pointers. And he started off the game with a solid 3 point shot, and I'm like, okay, here we go. He's ready. And then he missed a couple more. And then he made another 3 pointer early in the second quarter. And again, it's like he started to struggle a little bit. So, but Anthony Edis did really well. He finished with uh, 9 points. Trayson Huntsman was all over the place. Early in the game, he had a couple steals that led to some fast break points. He did really good. Um, Number 44, I can't remember his name. He came in, and he was the one who had to bring in that size when Cooley had to sit out for so long. But shout out to everyone. Shout out to that Centennial group that, like you said, man, they earned it. They surprised us throughout the season. They just kept going. They Mayfield just being able to just get these big leads against Mayfield. They struggled against Centennial or Oregon Mountain, and were then able to come back and clean that up. And so over and over again, you saw them do the right decisions. And so it's unfortunate how that season ended, but you know sometimes you get hit in the mouth and you got to figure out how to get it done. And it just, if they had another minute in that game, and they almost got another minute. There was a little
Yeah.
situation there where they didn't start the time. There was like 59 seconds, and then the ball went down the court, and Carlsbad's like, there was fit 13 seconds left. Carlsbad, but they were trying to
Yeah,
end that
Carlsbad
game.
fans, you gotta work on the counting a little bit. It don't work like that. He's like, "There's
Bro,
11 seconds." I was like, "I don't think that works. That doesn't
I
add up."
I saw Trey Gonzalez's his little promo that he did with Albertsons, where he's like, "Hey, come stop by before you go to the road trip. Get yourself a Carlsbad shirt." And I was thinking, like, why are they coming over here to watch us just beat them up? They're not
They, they,
poor guys. They're gonna buy
they
some
showed
apparel.
out.
That hey, Carlsbad showed up.
They did.
That
They had
was
more fans
cool.
than Centennial,
They did.
and they're loud.
The boys student section was not that great. Maybe that Saturday game is rough. I really really liked the student section for the girls. We could get into the girls. They had the little ESPN booth. I think Mayfield did it first. They had a little
Yeah,
ESPN booth. They took pictures, but there was a bunch of kids there. That Luke Matherly was there. I saw him hyping up the crowd and just getting excited.
yeah. I
And
think there was
and
a
the boys
track meet
basketball,
that same day.
was it okay?
Yeah, I think that might have hurt it a little bit because a lot
Mm,
of athletes were there for the girls' game, including some
yeah,
of the boys' basketball teams like
yeah.
Reese, maybe Trayson in them. So
I
yeah, you're
saw
right. I just
Cooley
thought
there
about
as
that right
well.
now.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the student section was a little bit flat. I thought Centennial had the best student section of the year. If we're going to be giving awards, I think we got to give awards for stuff like that too. And
Ooh,
at least Centennial gets my vote for the best student section. Did they get in trouble? Did they have, some issues? They were asking about people's biological fathers and who their barbers were. Oh man, there was some all kinds of funny stuff that they were saying.
brought the
But
word
I
zesty up a few times.
a couple times, but you have to point to those types of things that helped at least get a couple more points here and there, help with free throws where maybe that student section is responsible for one or two of those wins in the season as well, right? Home court advantage is a real thing, and
Yeah, Coach
as
Hoon
far
believes
as
in it. We didn't believe in it too.
yeah, exactly, yeah, and
Yeah.
and we're the NMSU student section is getting better at that too. They're doing my one thing that I think that'll fix a couple issues is the student section is really quiet whenever you give them food at the beginning of a game. They all sit down
Mm,
and they're just eating. So you don't necessarily get into the flow of the game. You don't get all this rowdiness until all the jitters are gone of like the first quarter when you're getting the game started and it's quiet. It's like that's when you got to be the loudest and that there's a little bit of an issue there whenever you feed your student section right at the beginning of a game because you want them loud. You don't want them to feel comfortable for 1 second in your home court. And if you don't start cheering until the first quarter is over, you've already let the game kind of progress a little bit where now it's like they're being a little bit loud, but it's like, well, we're good now, we're into the flow of things. So maybe give the pizzas out maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't know
shoot, if
how
they
you
want,
how you
make them
solve
stay the
that.
whole game.
At
Give it
the
at the
end,
end.
feed them at the end.
Yeah, make them stay the whole game. That's like a
we
teacher
feed
mindset
you.
right there. They should know better.
We feed you. We feed you if we win.
Exactly.
Ay ay ay. Well, let's get into the girls because the um the
Our
girls were
girls are.
also one where we were really excited to see. We had
Yeah,
Cruces, we had Mayfield, and we had Centennial. Again, Centennial ran the district for both boys and girls. And again, you went to the Cruces game, I went to the Centennial game, and uh, man, it was tough. We were texting back and forth, giving each other updates. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Um, I can get into the Centennial game a little bit, and then you can talk about the Cruces game,
yeah, yeah.
Jonah. Um, but I thought it was a bit of a slow start. I don't know if there was some worry about size. There was just a little bit of confidence that was missing. The reason why I say that is there was a lot of turnovers. There were some passes that just weren't being thrown right, where it was maybe a little bit out of reach. There was some miscommunication. Go ahead, Jonah.
I have a question. And it'll continue for you, but did their youth show? Do you think that's a
Hmm.
reasonable question or a decent question?
Um,
Just because that was my worry
maybe,
when I kind of saw that they, it's their first time in this stage.
maybe. It's hard to say because they never really did show their youth. They were a really strong
Mm,
team all
okay.
season, and so to be like, oh yeah, they went back to something is not. I don't think that was it. Um, was there maybe a lack of confidence? Sure, but at the end, I think they were just trying to be too quick because early
Mm,
on, similar to the boys, I was like, okay, we got this. They're getting into a rhythm. I think they can do it. And then slowly, just some miscommunications. There were some heads that were down, and not to take anything away from Volcano Vista. Volcano Vista, there was a girl number 11, Janisa, and she
Jalissa.
scored. Huh?
I think it's Jalissa.
Jalissa? Oh, I heard Janisa. Jalissa, number
That's what
11.
it says on Max
Apologize.
Preps.
Okay, Jalissa. All I heard was the announcement. I wrote it down on my notes. So, missed the L there. She had 6 points. There were some good rebounds, and that really got the game started. It was 11-7 in the first quarter. Uh, but there were some solid steals. I mean, Alana is a senior. She had she had she didn't get her first points until the third quarter, so maybe there was some jitters there. But that's not
Mm,
youth, you know. So Bella didn't score until the second quarter. She had four at halftime. So there was a little bit of a struggle there to get into some type of rhythm. Kennedy was the one who really kept us in the game in the first quarter because she had 2 3 pointers, and that was why I started to feel I was like, okay, the 3 point shot is going. That's going to give Bella a little bit more room down in the paint to do something. But I think the biggest issue was that Volcano Vista was not afraid of the 3 point shot as much. I'm trying to look here. Other than Kennedy's three, uh, Kennedy three, ugh. Other than Kennedy's 2 3 pointers in the first quarter, there was only three more 3 pointers that were made. So they kind of took away the 3 point shot, and when they tried to get into the paint, man, it was swarming. Bellick just couldn't get any shots up. It was just a real struggle there where they just couldn't find the room, or they couldn't find the right play set to make something happen. Um, I could see that uh, Coach Matt was trying to figure out how to slow down Volcano Vista, and Skylar De La Cruz, who is really good at defense. That is her clearly her strong suit in the game of basketball. Was very timid when it came to shooting. I think there's some confidence there where, hey, even if you don't have the confidence, you might not even make that shot, but you got to make them fear you, you know? And so she's young. This whole team is young. And I think coach has a mindset. I know I posted it on social media what coach had told us at the during the Moscow sports interview, right? Of like what do you got to do on the off season, and it's just keep putting up shots, keep working on your game, because there was times there where I was just like, man, just shoot the ball, but
yeah,
I mean it's easier it's easier to say that sitting in the stands, right? And so
yeah,
I get it. I get it. But yeah, I saw some lack of confidence, and where it's like, this is your last game of the season, man. Just go out there and do your best. And they did. They did. It was a tight game. 36-45 was the final score there. So congratulations to those seniors, Annabelle, Bella, Alana. They played great all season, and you get to hang a banner, right? As the boys say, is it end all be all a district championship? No, because you still want to play and you want to be successful in the next tournament, but you do get to hang a banner, you know, and they'll
hmm
always be able to say when they go back to Centennial, that was my year. We won that, you know. So um, you're right, Jonah. You should be hungry for more, but that's pretty cool. Your banner is
yeah.
there forever. 10, 20 years from now, you'll go back and it's still going to be there. So Shout out to them. Mayfield struggled 33-63 Los Lunas. We had seen them at the Hoopla tournament earlier this season, and they fell. The Los Lunas went and did some work on Mayfield there. So tough loss for them, for Coach Maya and Sienna McInnes and all the other seniors involved there. Did you have any insight for that one?
Yeah, I think they were in the game in the first and second quarter. I think it was like a 2 4 point game. Um, but like I talked to Maya the day before, Coach Maya, and he was just kept reiterating that um, their girls are the Las Vegas girls are young, but they're good. They don't play like they're young. What they had that Kayla Finley girl who's a sophomore. They have like three eighth graders who can shoot the ball really good. Um, and then Maya wasn't coming up with excuses, but he did say that they lost two seniors before the season even started. Mayfield did
Mm,
to season-ending injuries. They lost another girl for a good while, and yesterday they were I think two or one girl down because they had the flu, and then one of them had an ankle injury, and so they weren't at full strength really all year, and we're going to rely on their defense because he said that their best defensive game was against Las Vegas the first time around, which hence why they won that game. And Sienna, he was hoping Sienna would go off and for her season average and above, but I'm not sure what she ended up with. 22, it
22
says.
points.
I think her
22.
average is 25. And yeah, it's hard, and they don't. She doesn't get the help sometimes that she probably needs, but um, yeah, Las Vegas isn't a bad team. We've seen them. You've seen them in person.
Hmm.
Wreck all the other schools here in town.
Yeah, I mean, Mayfield beat them. Centennial didn't. They for the championship they won the hoopla tournament. Los Lunas did, and I was at that championship game, and the the Hawks really struggled to get things going. That was
Yeah.
a game where I think Bella made a big shift because late in the game in the hoopla tournament, Bella started to be a little bit more aggressive, and that translated into the rest of the season. So that was a big momentum builder for them. I think that might have been where their streak started was at that hoopla tournament. We'd have to look into it, but I think the last team that Centennial had lost before their long win streak that went well into district was against Los Lunas, and that taught them a lot. But that Los Lunas team is really good, and some of those girls are coming back into the city for the big time hoops tournament. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited. You know, us being out there, us only having two teams, second team being Mesilla Valley Christian, is to see some of those girls play because we're going to get to see them and we're going to get to interview them and do a little bit more content. More news on that later, but we're going to have some more content that it'll be good to have that insight heading into the showcase where we get to kind of talk about them a little bit more. So, um, Los Lunas is a strong team. I think they're going to be someone that we're gonna see late next week or this week, I guess, in the tournament. And then last but not least, the Las Cruces Bulldogs, the Lady Bulldogs. You were at that game.
Yeah. When I talked to Selby that earlier that week, last week, obviously they're playing a top player in the state in Jordan Dyer. I think she averages 21 points per game. She got her average against Cruces, but they said as long as we hold her around the average and hold the rest of the team, we could we could win the game. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I think number one, I forgot her name, um, had like 12 or 11 points, and she had three threes. Number five for La Cueva was just everywhere on the boards. She had I think 10 points, and so they really couldn't limit the rest of the team, which they needed to do to win that game. And then shout out to Kira Gamboa right there. She had 11 points. She had an assignment to guard Jordan, and
Did she?
Jordan doesn't mess around, and Kira gave her all that she could handle. Not to only mention, just to mention too that Jordan was on Kira the whole games, and Kira had 11 points. Like that's a top player guarding you right there, and she didn't flinch. She got knocked to the ground a whole bunch of times. still got hers. I think she was 2 points above her average. Um, um, Unfortunately, Sofia Herrera and Damia Dupree and Zoe Barrio couldn't get things going, but Shadow. It's not because they couldn't. It's not because they didn't have the capability to do so. It's just LaQueva was everywhere on defense. They came out
Hmm.
swinging. They weren't going to back down. They kind of had. It seemed like they had that mindset from last year. Like, we beat you once, we're going to beat you again. So, um, not a disappointing season for them though. They did rather well. CUSA did. Runner up in district, I believe. A couple
Hmm.
points away from being district champions if they beat Centennial that first matchup. So Selby and her crew will be back. They always are. It's just unfortunate that the girls we couldn't get any girl teams to state, but like you mentioned, Mesilla Valley Christian School, the 2A team here in Cruces is going to be playing at the Rio Rancho Event Center. What I say Wednesday at 3, I believe. Yeah,
Wednesday
right
at
there.
3. Yep.
And so I looked up their stats, and shout out to Coach Redfern, I believe his name is. His wife actually provided me with the stats from their game against Dulce, I believe that's the name that they played. They routed them. They got like a almost 20-point win. A couple players and I think 3 players in double figures. One had 18, one had 17, and the other one had 10. But he went off for a double double. He had like 12 rebounds. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna cover them. I'm telling you guys now. If you guys, some Mesilla Valley fans, are watching us, we'll be there at that game. We'll make the trip down to the pit for the later game for the boys Cruces team. But we're really pulling for these teams to move on to move forward in that bracket. So yeah, don't think that we don't want to cover some of these teams. I know it's just hard for us to get around and everything,
Yeah.
but luckily they're all going to be bunched up there. And if Mesilla Valley wins, they'll be at the pit the next day, so we'll have another full day. So let's go Sunblazers and Dogs, man. Let's go get that dub.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, well, it'll be fun. I'm confident. I'm confident. I know we're playing the 1 seed. The Bulldogs are, but I have a good feeling that we're gonna be there for
Let's get to Saturday. Let's
at
just say
least a
it.
Friday.
Let's stay to Saturday.
Oh, we're staying
We're
till
gonna stay.
Saturday. Yeah,
Oh
let's
yeah,
do
yeah.
that. I'm gonna wear a jacket, a nice jacket, because
Ooh,
we get no, we gotta be coming in looking nice. That's
gotta
a
represent the
requirement. That's
South.
just not a. So I'll wear blue. I'll wear a blue or a red. I'll wear blue if we have 2 state championships. If Messiah's there
Oh,
too,
I just
we
thought
gotta
about
wear
that.
blue.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe I'll wear blue and a red tie, and I'll take the tie off for uh
For
uh
celebration
for Messiah. No, for
purposes.
Messiah Valley.
Oh,
For
okay.
Messiah Valley, I'll
And
take it off
celebration
just so, not to
purposes.
not to make a confusion, or I'll bring like a gold tie, blue
Oh,
and
you're just
gold, and
coming
then switch
already.
it
All
out.
right.
But yeah, no. So it'll be exciting. Jonah, you and I are headed out next tomorrow,
Yeah,
and
tomorrow.
then we're gonna watch the Aggies play Tuesday night. We'll make sure we're already in town. We get some food, get some beverages, and then watch the Aggies kick some butt, and then turn around the next day, 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
8 o'clock the
8:15.
Bulldogs play. 8:15. Yeah, so we got a full day Wednesday. We got a full day following that, and it'll be a good time. And then real quick, let's wrap up here with some other sports, some spring sports that are happening. We have baseball, we have softball, we have some tennis, and then we have a big fight with our very own Emilio Marquez, who is currently in Colorado right now training for his professional debut. So shout out to him. That fight is going to be on I think it's Friday the 21st. It's 2 Fridays from now. He's going to be fighting at Texas Live in Arlington, Texas. You can find tickets for that on his page. I'll be sharing it on our page as well. Even for pay per view, if you want to go out there and check it out, there's going to be plenty of fights. That Texas Live area is really cool. As I've mentioned a couple of times, I live close by there. That was one of my favorite places to go. That was a good time. There's like bars on top. There's food. What's the catcher's name? Pudge.
Pudge Rodriguez, baby.
Pudge Rodriguez. He's got a restaurant there. Troy Aikman has a restaurant there. There's all kinds of cool stuff. There's music and then just bars in the middle. Step outside. If you've never been to Dallas Cowboy Stadium, you go out the back doors and you're walking distance from the Cowboy Stadium too. So it's a dope little spot. Then you leave the other side. Globe Life is right there, and then the old Ranger Stadium is. I think they're making it into a mall. I think Top Golf has done some stuff in there.
Oh, nice.
Uh, so they have like three big arenas in that area. It's a good place to go visit if you're interested in doing that. But yeah, so shout out to Emilio, who is in full training mode. He's wrapping up at this point. He's getting close to wrapping up and kind of thinking about making cutting some weight. I'm not sure what his weight class is right off the top of my head, but I'm excited, man. That one's big. If and when he wins his debut, that's gonna make a lot of noise for the city. So I hope he does well there. Um, and as far as the city goes, our softball team, all of our softball teams are kicking some ass, Jonah. They're kicking some ass. This here was Saturday's games, and if you notice, none of our teams hit the loss column, baby. That's what I like to see.
I was gonna say something that I don't want to upset anyone, but I'll just say it. Someone's got to win state. Someone's got to win state. Girls, Centennial girls, I think they're back-to-back state champions, just going
Yeah,
for that three-peat.
Centennial, like overall, Centennial is every sport they're in it. Every sport
Yeah,
they're in it.
I'll
Football,
I'll
they're
say
doing
this.
really good.
Yeah, I'll say this: the
Baseball, they're
Centennial
kicking butt.
girls athletic teams, they don't mess around. Softball, volleyball. When we first started, got a couple of state champions ships, and then softball took over, and now they're back. I think
Hmm.
even like our cross country team is always decent too. So golf, we had a state champion golf player.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna
One
leave it
state. I
there.
think the team won state while she was there too. So the team
Oh,
won state
nice.
in golf. She won state, and she's doing really good for us in at NMSU as well. So they're doing a tournament right now. We're focusing a little bit more on high school sports. So that's your surf and turf golf talk right there. And let's get back to let's get
Thank you,
back to
Surfer
softball.
Turf.
Uh, yeah, go buy a hat. This was dope. You like to go hunting? No one will see your head.
That's funny.
Uh, let's you've already taken a look at this. I mean, Cruces 17-3, Oregon Mountain 20-0, Centennial 15-1, Centennial 10-0, Cruces 5-2. I mean, come on now. Oregon Mountain 5-0. I mean, Oregon Mountain just out here 20 and 15. That's 35 unanswered runs, baby.
A little 35 burger would never hurt no one.
Sheesh. So shout out to y'all. Y'all doing some good work. I love the content that's being made. One of the videos went viral for the Cruces softball. I don't know if you saw it, Jonah. She was running. She was turning second, and she dropped her mic, and she took third. She slides in, but the audio sounds a little bit off, and it's because it fell off. So her mic fell off, and the
Oh, dang.
the girls were like, "There's a mic on the floor." She's
I
like,
didn't
"Thank
know.
you."
I
Yeah.
didn't know you could be mic'd up these days for high school sports. That's cool.
You can do whatever you want, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Here in
But
the South, we do
yeah,
what we want.
we do what we want down here. It's a dirty South for a reason. The only loss coming this past week looks like it came with the freaking Volcano Vista. 8-5, 8-9. Tough loss
That
here.
ain't gonna happen this week. That ain't gonna
Mm-mm,
happen this week.
mm-mm. Tell him, tell him. We beat Gallup. Oregon Mountain took care of Volcano Vista for us though.
Thank you,
They
Oregon
took
Mountain.
care of them. Volcano Vista has to leave the city with a loss at least every time. So Oregon Mountain went, and this one was a tough one. We got to take a look there where Cleveland is in the state, but that's a 3-2 coming off of Oregon Mountain. Looks like they're one of the stronger teams. I know
Yeah.
Centennial's been who they are, but it's cool to see. Let's get some competition here before we get into. Let's have a city-wide state championship. Can you imagine? Let's go play. Let's go play at a UNM and then just have it all Las Cruces
Let's
dominated.
go.
Let's do
Speak it
that.
into
Let's do that
existence.
this year. All right, let's go. Team on me, team on three.
Same.
Um, Thank you.
Uh,
So that there is updates on softball, and congrats to them. Shout out to Gadsden. Gadsden's always tagging us and stuff.
yeah,
And as we
Gaston's
said,
good too.
yeah, Gadsden's looking really good. Excited to see how they continue to go. But thankfully to their coaches or whoever's doing their social media, they're posting and sending us stuff. You don't have to
Hmm.
collaborate with us, but if you can tag us or comment or send it, whatever, it just helps us keep tabs and realize what's going on. Um, to be is to be perceived sometimes. If you don't have a social media team, you can't afford it, you don't have it, you don't believe in it, cool. We're still going to cover you guys, but it does make it a lot funner and like the social media craze, as Coach Ben says. Um, it does make it easier to be visible. And then we want to just put that out there. You guys can be able to see it. So shout out to
Yeah.
softball as they're getting started. Excited to get into that full time with basketball wrapping up. That'll be a lot of fun. And then we have baseball. The baseball, same thing, man. We're doing really well
23
across the
burger
board.
Centennial.
Look at
Let's
that
go.
Centennial, baby. Look at that. 23-0. You have Cruces beating Valley 8-2. Mayfield beating Manzano on a doubleheader. Oregon Mountain does lose to Volcano Vista,
Damn it.
and then there was that doubleheader there for Cruces as well with Valley. So Volcano Vista beats Oregon Mountain for the second time 6-3, and then 18-0. What is that?
Calm down,
41 points?
Centennial.
41-0.
Calm down,
40,
Centennial.
41. Damn.
Save some
I
runs
mean,
for the playoffs.
at some point, I'm gonna have to take out my arm and go see what's up with these boys here. I'll go see.
You
I'll
know,
let y'all know how good they are. I'll just
a
warm it
little
up a
pitch
little bit.
test.
Haven't thrown a
See if
pitch in like 15 years, but I can figure it out.
we don't want to tear anything here. We got to watch out for our bodies.
As long as I can climb up and down the stairs and I can write keeps the score, I don't need the rest of it. Friday's games, it was just Alamogordo. Shout out to them. They were able to win a close one against Lovington, and then they beat Ruidoso. So good one there. And then Tuesday, yeah, same thing. Gadsden beat Anthony. So
Let's go Gadsden. Gadsden has a good, they have a good softball and baseball program. So,
mhm.
uh, gotta believe,
Yeah, they
baby.
always do.
Gotta
I think
believe.
Gadsden struggled last year, uh, and it's not all about the pitching. I thought there was a couple times I went to go watch them, and they had some really strong pitchers. But man, you got to have the strategy behind it too to figure out how to get the runs right. Because I mean, if you let one run in, it don't matter if you're not letting them score any, you lose 1-0. So
Yeah.
you need some offense to back up. But I do know that there were some really good pitchers out in Gadsden. So shout out to them. Shout out to the baseball team. Shout out to everyone who is getting ready there. Track, like you said earlier, had a track meet, so we'll keep up with all that. Man, track turns into like 30 different sports at once, right? So it's not basketball where it's just like straightforward. Okay, cool. So trying to get the bright sides of that, figuring that out. Don't have much insight into track yet. We have tennis that is in full swing. Centennial has not updated a lot of their information onto Max Preps, so need to do a little bit more digging. But I noticed at least they give on Max Preps they give a match player of the match little highlights. So I'll just highlight what Max Preps gave there with Felix Nieto from Las Cruces High School, and then Daxter Coombs. I don't know. We had a Coombs last year for
Yeah.
Oregon
I don't think,
Mountain.
I don't think they're
I don't know if they're
related.
related at all. But shout out
I
to
don't think.
Daxton Coombs for his play out there, and then Miles Odin from Mayfield, winning player of the match recently as well. On the 20th, Mayfield and Centennial will be playing against each other, so it's match day on the 20th. And then Cruces and Oregon Mountain are be going to a Larry Larson invitation in Albuquerque. That's going to be Saturday morning. It starts at 8:30, Jonah. So we can kill a lot of birds with one stone this weekend if we make it to Saturday, or when we make it to Saturday, we can have something to do that morning. So
That's true.
shout out to
Good point.
tennis. Excited for y'all to get started. Um, I have not found anything on powerlifting. I don't know what's going on there, Jonah, but we
Yeah.
gotta figure out so we can
I
highlight
do
them.
know track for Oregon Mountain under the new head coach for football, Greg Mallory, who's also the coach for track. Um, they won in silver. Their team won first place. And then Luke Matherly for Centennial had a PR in his, I want to say discus. Does that make sense? Is there discus,
Oh
right?
yes, it is discus. Yeah,
Yeah,
or is it shot put?
maybe both. He had a PR
It
in
was.
one of them.
Both of them are turning. I don't know. Shot put is this? It's turning. It's discus.
Yeah, discus is discus.
Yeah.
Congrats, Luke. Multi sport athlete right there.
Yes, sir. I actually took a screenshot. Now you just reminded me because tennis did have some spotlights. It's just first names, but Oregon Mountain went and played a tournament in El Paso. Savannah got first in singles. Annabelle got first in singles B. Noah and Cedric got third in A doubles, and William got winner of consolation winner. Bryce winning in life and taking fifth today. Bryce, shut up, Bryce, winning in life.
Hell yeah, Bryce.
And shout out to Oregon Mountain Tennis. That this is what I mean by making it easy. We can just pull it up, take screenshots, and do those types of things. So, uh, thank you to Oregon Mountain for posting that and sharing that information. If I missed any of those, hey, we're back at it next week. So, thank you for watching, Jonah. Any news for us? Give us updates there on the football coaches. You've been bugging the city for months, dude. Tell us, what do we got?
So let's see. We got new head coach at Mayfield, Joseph Frias. He was excited at that little press conference they had. Shout out to like all the Mayfield fans and players. It was a good turnout for that. Greg Mallory at Oregon Mountain, same thing. Parents, players, old coaches, coaching staff. Exciting times ahead. Those two are the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear Chaparral's getting ready to release um, the news of their new head coach. So hopefully I'll be there as well. I'll keep you guys updated on that. So stay tuned. And then, yeah, it's just exciting. Both these programs, Mayfield and Oregon Mountain football, should be on the rise. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Did these coaches have an opportunity to give speeches on their goals or their vision or their philosophies on how
They
they're going to
did.
approach the program?
They did. Their speeches were, kind of the rah rah coach's speech. But when we asked questions, I kind of had a chance to talk with both. Frias wants to retain most of his Chaparral coaching staff. He said he's open to anyone who buys into his vision for the school. He did say that he wants to get Mayfield back up to the state championship level. He knows the tradition. Coach Bradley, Michael, and Gary both reached out to him, congratulated him. Frias he said he wants to keep most of the tradition there, but also he's not afraid to bring in the new stuff that he learned at Chaparral and whatever else works. Mallory's just a really, really good coach as well. He's more of a, I want to say, players coach. He really connects to the kids. He's excited. He mentioned, he thanked God for the moment, which is really cool to hear. Um, he said the same thing. Kind of, he's ready to bring the program back up. It seems like a lot of the coaching staff that was under Coach Sanchez last year are going to come back, are excited to come back with Coach Mallory. And he says that their numbers are growing, that they have enough for a JV squad next year, which is huge. These days, you don't really hear too much about JV. You hear kind of like a C team, which is a
Right.
kind of a mix of everything. So yeah, they're both on the way up. I asked him about the gear because Mallory's always swagged out, bro.
Yeah.
Uh, he said he has a couple things up his sleeve, so watch out there. I said as long as he gets us some of the gear, we'll be fine with it. I did ask too about 7-on-7s and 7-on-7 camps, and both well, at least Mallory said that that's something he's looking into to kind of build up the chemistry and get the everyone competitive. Obviously, some of it translates to the real field and whatnot, but he said he kind of just summed it up saying it's really good just to compete in that time in those 7-on-7s. So that's all I got. I'll have some stuff later on in my column, so just stay tuned.
Cool. Yeah, it's I like Mallory's Coach Mallory's his Instagram and TikToks that he does, like
Oh yeah,
Motivation
motivational,
Mondays.
inspirational. Yeah,
Yeah, he's always got something. What is it? Gotta let him know because I gotta tell you, what is it? I gotta let you know because
I
they're
gotta let you
saying
know
so,
because they tell me. Oh
because they're
yeah.
telling you so. Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
damn, that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. No, I'm excited as well. Um, I, I mean, it was clear. I mean, we were talking about it, even though we didn't necessarily know. Oregon Mountain has been going through a lot of changes, is struggling. There's been a lot of coaches who have had really good track records that have gone there
Oh
and
yeah,
have struggled.
yeah. That's another thing. The I want to shout out the AD, Gayaz, I believe, Adrian.
Hmm.
He and the administration, the hiring committee, took into say what these upcoming seniors and upperclassmen wanted, and he even made a note of it, saying that they wanted a great leader. They want someone who connects with them. They want someone who shows film, like really knows their stuff and isn't afraid and like that. And someone that corrects them but doesn't stay on them for the mistakes they made. So they really took in consideration, and it sounds like they listened to the student athletes and went with what they wanted in Mallory.
Cool. That
Yeah,
matters, right?
yeah,
You want to be led by someone that you trust and respect, and Mallory has done that. I mean, just the comments that you got, um, very different situations, right? Because Mayfield coach Anthony Chaparral was like, they were all mad because they were they're like, well, what the heck, They're funny little gifs that they were putting on the comments, and then you see Mallory's post and the announcement on him getting the job, and it was all his kids that have worked with him before. He teaches there, he's part of the community, and all of them are just so happy for it, right? And so, for obvious reasons, both of them are loved, and wherever they were before, Mallory doesn't have to move, but he won state last year, right, for track and something. I know they were state champions in a couple things,
yeah. I think there's a
but
couple of
he was
athletes
a
that
track
got.
coach. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he was a track coach there, and so there's respect already. And as we've mentioned, there's a lot of kids who are dual sport athletes that they're used to the way that he coaches and the way that he motivates, right? I mean, he motivates us just through social media. Can you imagine in a locker room when you have
hell
him
yeah.
for 3 4 hours in a day? You have him for a class, then you have him for track, and then you have 0 hour for football, whatever that looks like. Man, I'm excited for him. Do you know if he's going to be able to stay as a track coach? I know
I
for
believe
this year
so.
he is, but in the future, I'm assuming he's just going to stay
Yeah,
as
I
both.
believe I
Why
believe
not?
he can do both.
Okay.
He also does like a media something. He's a media teacher, but he does something else where he takes the students for like a leadership, thing up north to Albuquerque. But I also wanted to say like Chaparral, the kids, you lost a good leader in Frias, but like give this new guy a chance. Whoever it is, you guys are still competitive. You guys had 2 great years, so let's give this new guy a chance and believe in the system, and you guys will be right back where you were the last year. So let's go.
Now you have Gatson in your district too,
Extra motivation, baby.
so that'll be fun. You got a little rivalry now. I know Gatson has moved kind of back and forth the last like 10 years, but no, I think it's exciting, and we'll try to keep covering them too, no matter what,
Yeah.
as we do with Gadsden. So, yeah, it's exciting. Thank you for watching. Um, See you later.
Peace.